Article right here says a 4-year-old girl went missing at Disneyland in Los Angeles, as reported in a TikTok video, raising concerns and sparking a digital frenzy about the mysterious incident. Let me tell you. Now, we don't have a picture of the family or the kid. This happened to a Latino family, so the whole situation was told in their language. But through all the interpreters on TikTok, this is what they're saying happened. So this family, who was a Latino descent, said they went into this bathroom and saw a trap door similar to this opened up, and that their daughter was down in there. They said the door closed, and they went to run and reported to security guards. They thought they was crazy. They said that they need to dig up this place in the bathroom, and they try to get these people to open this floor up so they can go find their daughter. The daughter is still missing. Now these people have to go see psychiatrists because they're sticking to their story that their baby went into a hole in the floor similar to this at Disneyland in Los Angeles. And it's all over TikTok right now. Excuse me. It's all over TikTok right now. And y'all need to go check it out for yourselves, because this looks extremely convincing. And you see, this is a real thing. The floor is opened up and trap doors to a... Now look at that. That looks perfect in line and don't even look like a trap door.
Yeah, so it is in fact getting pretty gnarly, don't you think? So one thing I wanted to talk about in more depth is the reptilian infiltration and control of society, the level that it goes to. Okay, now a lot of people know about the reptilian conspiracy and they believe somewhat in it, but I don't think they realize the level of infiltration, the amount of control, how it's completely... It's not like they control some major institutions and not others, or, you know, America is partly divided, you know, partly, you know, the major business interests. No, if you are not someone who is actively fighting against Satan and Satan is actively fighting against you, you are part of the satanic machine. Even people that are Christians, even people that think that they would be against reptilian rule, but if they are not fighting, if they're not in the fight, you see, what happens is, as I've been saying, it's an either-or system. It's a two-king system. It really is hard to comprehend that we're living in a beast empire. It's just... everything is, it's an agenda of fallen angels that they left their first estate, as we read, followed after Satan, who rebelled against God, and his agenda is to make the world his. But he knows everything that's going on. But even so, it's combined with, as I see it, his desire to reel the world in, as it were. Well, it looks like an opening up in the skies, heaven beyond. But yeah, so the everything is under their control. I mean, it's, you know, thinking that it's somehow out of the beast control, anything is just foolish. Which is why I kind of like to remind about Trump, is that, you know, not that I dislike this guy any more than any other president that I've seen or heard. No, I like him more than any other president I've seen or heard. The problem is that when I think about everything that has to be in place, I just can't buy it. And you know, a lot of people, they cannot, you know, the Benny Johnsons, all the people that support Trump, they just don't realize that you can't possibly be in the position he's in. Same for Elon. And somehow be outside of the beast control system. Somehow out of control. If they were by any means a rebel, which would mean that they are true friends of the Lord. Because if you're a true rebel against Satan, you're a friend of God almost automatically. There's nowhere else to go because you choose goodness, you choose right, you choose something that's not a wicked heritage, right? So you automatically would be someone who would come to the Lord. But you see, when you see Trump talking about like he's got that Bible, and then he's got the Ten Commandments in it, or not the Ten Commandments, the Constitution. Yeah, great. Okay, I'm glad you got the Constitution in there and everything. Oh, yeah, that's great. First time I've ever seen a president advertise the Bible like that. But you got to realize, friends, you see, when you look at everything in the aggregate, like I said, you add it up and you think about everything. All I have to do, because I get caught up in it too. I get caught up in clicking the little things that YouTube sends to me. Do you support Kash Patel or kicking out all the corrupt politicians or whatever? Totally, man. I like to click yes on that. But all I have to do is think about that fake assassination attempt. I mean, it was before all that. I mean, I never voted for Trump. I never bought into it. I knew he was all part of the system. It's all a good cop, bad cop thing, which is, again, what I would hope my friends would realize. It's very hard to realize, I know. And, it's hard for me to point the finger. But like I said, I feel pretty sure that the same people who don't have the discernment to realize that Trump can't possibly be outside the system, that Elon Musk, richest man in the world, can't possibly be outside of the satanic system. In other words, someone who goes by the script, goes by the book. That's why The Simpsons can do that predictive programming, that predictions. I mean, it's totally, it's because they control it. They control them, they know what's going to happen. They have the ability to look forward into the future. They have quantum access, they can see. So yeah, the Christians that right now they don't have the discernment to realize that this stuff, the whole thing is an act. Okay, so and like I said, I couldn't blame anybody for being swept up into it momentarily. Like, man, gosh, there's a little part in the back of my mind, like hopes, oh man, maybe he'll do some good. All right, deporting the illegal aliens and assigning some good people. But you see, even if these people think that they are rebels or they're outside the system, they're not. Okay. If you're truly a rebel and outside the system, you'll have a whole different perspective, and you definitely won't have any power to do anything in this world. Because, see, the money that belongs to Satan, which is all the money, he's not giving it to anyone. And he's very, very jealous and pissed off. If I get any money, whoo, boy, I get punished. Okay? Because Satan can't stand if anybody gets his money other than his children, his obedient types that do what he says. And you may think, and even Donald Trump, I don't know if he consciously realizes it, but he's in it, he's part of it. It's the good cop, bad cop system, even if he himself is not fully conscious. But you see, you make these agreements at a soul level, and I believe everything that he's doing that looks like it's a good thing, people are going, yeah, it's all to make the rest of what he does more palatable. You see, what they don't want is the French Revolution, because this is inconvenient for them. Okay, they like to keep their cattle in line and don't stress them out so much. So what they're trying to do is it's very clever when you observe it. What they do is they make it so that it's miserable but just standable, and then give the enslaved, miserable heaps a sense of hope, a sense of things moving in the right direction. It's perfect. Why they said in that movie They Live, the news guy, that's one of them, is going, we don't need pessimism. It's a bright, shining new day. right? Because they don't want the slave peasants to rise up, because that's just less convenient for them. Not that they can't handle it. They'll fund both sides of the war and take the winnings. But it's even more beneficial if they can keep society to the point where they can control it so perfectly that there's just no resisting. Anybody who's outside the system, anybody who they don't like, they can find a way. See, they have a whole plan for people like me, probably, and people that are truly outside the system. And I see a lot of people that have discovered everything, or they just, for whatever reason, they're outside of the satanic system, the blessing of the satanic system, the wealth and we all have one purse, the scripture says, satanic system, and they are wrecked, man. I mean, just wrecked. Psychologically, just they've had it, man. They're trashed. They can't keep on top of it now. I'm not going to brag and say I'm any better than anybody else, except for the fact that it's God that has blessed me with the ability to continue on, whereas others are long sleeping in the dirt for doing what I did. And not to brag, friends, it's only because the Lord saw fit, for whatever reason, to put pressure or to make people aware of this fact. I mean, I'm living here in Serpent City, surrounded by these things. And let me tell you, they ain't loving me. Oh no. In this town, they can sense my spirit too. They can sense my spirit. Woo-wee. Not welcome in the satanic establishments, which is where? Which ones? All of them. All of them. There's no establishment that isn't a satanic establishment. There's no rebel good guy place, okay? You're not opening up a store in Satan's kingdom and lasting all that long. Anyway, probably couldn't even get the capital to barely even try it. See, people are freaked out with fear about all this, but to me, it's all like the deportations. I mean, it's all just to make the people think that there's some kind of change in the government. Once you see the bigger picture, you just can't be fooled by it. Then the next president, they'll come in. Oh, he'll be soft towards immigration and open up the borders again. Just back and forth to give the people hope. Okay, but meanwhile, what they really want to do, see, this means nothing. Means nothing. You may get a little, oh yeah, maybe they'll do something about the immigration. Oh my God, the illegal immigration. But I think the policy is very consistent. Doesn't matter what stage puppet actor that they have in place to make the plebes like us think that there's something actually outside of the will of Satan's puke empire. It's just all bullshit. Okay, yeah, about that secret underground hatch in the bathroom at Disneyland right here in California. Yeah, holy cow, guys. See, now, what you gotta understand is, just want to make clear to anybody who doesn't really get this, they don't go through all that trouble so that they can snatch kids just so some weirdos can do pedophilia or maybe satanic rituals. I think it's the Hunger Games. I mean, they're doing it because they're hungry. They eat us. Okay, that's what you gotta wrap your head around. It's been going on forever. It's not some new, terrible, horrible thing that's just recently cropped up. No, this is what they do. They feast on human flesh. Okay, now on this, I'm not 100% sure, like anything in the scripture, but this is really interesting because it applies to that whole male-female aspect of the scripture, and it starts right away here in Genesis, right in the beginning. And I believe when God is talking about the day and the night, the greater light and the lesser light, who is he talking about? Okay, so let's look at this here. So he says here, Genesis 1:16, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser night to rule the night. He made the stars also, but the two great lights and the greater and the lesser might mean the male and the female. Just I guess, maybe not. So I'm not saying, oh, this is all set in stone, this is the divine revelation. No, it's just, I was thinking about that's what it might be. Now, it's all a code. So, instantly you think, okay, sun for day, moon for the night, but there's something more being said. And what is that something more? Why would he say that? I believe there is a tangible meaning, a meaning that is, it's able to be understood by man and have a meaning to him, and a meaning that's important. So it might be talking about the male and female aspect of the Lord, and also the male and female aspect of us. Because as I've been teaching, what Genesis 1, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. Singular. See, I think it's singular, because what it's saying is that the individual, each one, is made male and female, which means that you're not alone. You in this world, you're not alone. You have a male or female counterpart, and there's no getting away from the fate. There's no choosing someone else. There's no getting bored. There's no running away. There's no refusing to do it. You will be joined with your significant other, and you'll be happy and you'll like it. That's basically all there is to it.
In the police station, when he was being held down and the sergeant came over, he said the sergeant shapeshifted in front of him, turned into a reptile, and then came back to human, and then shapeshifted again and returned.
And I remember, I'll swear on a stack of Bibles, I remember a lizard man in that office.